Hello and welcome to the Daily Meal for Sunday the 1st of June 2025. Yes, it is June. Not only that, but the transfer window is open today and we haven't signed anyone yet, so what's going on with that? But before we get to all that stuff, we have to talk about Mihailo Ivanovic. This is the match report from Serbia U21s defeat at home to Bulgaria U21s from FSS.rs, the official website of the Serbian Football Federation. And here we go. Now, this has been automatically translated into English by my browser, although they do now have an English version. If you go up to the top on the red banner, it's not on the screen as you can see it, but you have a Cyrillic Serbian website, you have a Latin alphabet Serbian website, and there's an English one, but they translate it themselves, so they do it story by story, and this is not there. So, under-21s. In the test in Leskovac, Serbia played and Bulgaria won. And this game happened on Saturday, I think. So there he is, Mihailo Ivanovic, back row on the right hand side. So, in 2 years, the young national team of Serbia will play duels at the Continental Championship against the strongest European teams, and it is good that the coach Alexander Kolarov has so much time at his disposal, because our selection currently has problems with the selection of a more modest rating. Bulgaria, in a test with their neighbour on the grass of the stadium in Leskovac, Serbia played and Bulgaria won 1-2, 1-0 at half time, so they're losing at half time. A disappointing outcome that fortunately does not hurt because it has no competitive significance. But even the greatest coaches will say the best way to learn from defeat. There is enough time for things to be corrected and put in place after all. That is what this period until 2027 is for, to check a large number of players, many of whom have just come out of the so-called Champions League, a young age. Scorers, Iliev in the 24th minute, Ivanovic equalised 1-1 in the 51st minute, and Rupanov 2-1 in the 53rd minute. So shortly after Ivanovic equalised, they scored from the penalty spot. And the starting 11, if we can find Ivanovic, he's on the third row. He played 67 minutes, and seeing as several other players went off in 67 minutes, we assume that's a regulation substitution and not an injury substitution, because obviously we don't want that. So here's what happened in the game. Serbia opened the match better and could have taken the advantage in the second minute after Matija Mitrovic's shot, but his excellent shot from about 20 metres ended up on the left post of the guest goal. Serbia continued to attack and missed a few more fantastic opportunities. The first through Ivanovic, who shot over the goal in a one-on-one situation, and then on two occasions Zogic's powerful shots ended up next to the goal. The Bulgarians took the lead with a goal by Iliev, who hit the bottom left corner of the goal of Orlic, which is in brackets. I don't know why that's in brackets. Maybe that's his nickname. With a precise shot after a well-organised counter-attack. Practically the only one in the first 45 minutes. So basically it's saying Bulgarians only had one chance on their goal and they scored it in the first half. The best opportunity for our team in the first half was missed by Lazar Jovanovic when, after an excellent dribble and a cross by Mimovic, he caught the ball perfectly, which was then taken out of the net by the goalkeeper of Bulgaria. The second half started with a big rush of Orlic. They tried to do it and they tried to kill it, the game, but the goalkeeper of the guests made bravuro on the goal. In the end, Ivanovic scored with a great dive after a corner kick and thus hinted at a turnaround. However, just a minute later, Bulgaria took the lead again from the penalty spot after a penalty in the 53rd minute, which was realised by Rupanov. Serbia tried to come back and make a turnaround, but the result remained unchanged despite numerous chances. Aleksic, Svetkovic, Lukovic, Valovic tried. However, the defence of the visitors resisted and in the end managed to preserve the advantage. And there we go, number 18. Ivanovic, and he's there again having a shot. Next test for the Eagles is on June the 4th in Loznica, when they will host Greece at the Lakator Stadium. Now, if you happen to find yourself in Serbia at this time, you can get free admission to that game. In the Greece in Loznica, free admission. So, free tickets can be picked up on the days of the matches from 12 o'clock until the start of the matches, both from 6 o'clock. So, they're kicking off at 6 o'clock. So, Wednesday is Wednesday the 4th of June. The game is kicking off at 6 p.m, so I presume that's local time, which would then... Are they, like 3 hours ahead of us? So, that would be 3 p.m. our time, I assume. So, I believe there was a stream when the game was happening yesterday. I just managed to catch the tail end of it, but it's kind of hard to find because there's a lot of scam. What they do is they do streams, and they're either streams with stats, which, okay, fair enough, you know. They do like live in-game stats. Oh, the ball's here. This team had a shot. These are yellow card, which is fair enough, you know. It's kind of like watching game in the old when you used to watch games on teletext. Or there's a load of games they'd have. What do they have? They use computer games like FIFA, and it's just fake, but they have the real score put on, because if anyone would click on it and see it, I'll go, oh, okay. So yeah. So if you find yourself in Loznica on Wednesday, you can get to this game for free. Just got to pick up your ticket and then come back for kickoff. Now, did manage to find some highlights from the game, and I shared it on my YouTube community post on YouTube. I'm not sure if this is the official FSS. Was it FSS or RSS? So it's called Futbolski Savez Serbia. It's all in Serbian, but I found it, and we have, you know, we've got the highlight. We've got 5 minutes and 57 seconds of highlights from the game, and we're just going to watch Ivanovic's goal, which is coming up right now. There we go. Have some minutes. Now, interesting. See, that was quite early in the game, 51st minute, but because they were losing, they run straight back to the centre circle to kick off the game, which, you imagine, should they have done that? Because what that did, then the game kicked off, you know, pretty quickly, and then they ended up conceding a penalty about a minute later. Maybe if they took some time to celebrate, you know, get it, just kind of like take the wind out of the game, maybe it would have been a different circumstances, but yeah. So there you go. Now, coming up, we do, like I said, so Serbian under-21s on Wednesday against Greece. That's going to be a tougher game, I think. See, you're kind of judging it by the first teams and rather than the under-21s, but as we've seen with, who have we seen it with? Scotland. They had a pretty old under-21 team, and they had all of the players who were basically at that age where they just aged out of it, all at the same time. So they've had to restart with basically a whole new team, and it's severely weakened them to some extent. They've got like 17, 18-year-olds playing in the under-21s. So they don't have that many older players, like more physically strong players, because there's a big difference between like a 17-year-old and a 21-year-old. But, you know, they had all players all the same age, which is, you kind of need to mix it up a bit, and you need to have like a conveyor belt to maintain, you know, the standard, rather than just keep starting and having to keep, you know, starting again. So I'm not sure how, you know, good Greece under-21s are. They might be like an older under-21 team or a younger under-21 team, but you presume, because, you know, Greece's first team is pretty good, that their under-21 team should be quite good as well. So, but we'll see on Wednesday, you know. We'll see what happens in the game in Loznica. Now, this is from livefootballontv.com. So we do have So Dan Kelly already played his one game. That was very early on, like the 23rd of May. Told you about that. We've got Ivanovic playing in the games that I just told you about. We've also got George Saville called up for Northern Ireland. But I don't know if you saw it over the weekend. Jamaica and were playing in a final in against Brentford. It went to penalties, and Jamaica lost to Nigeria on penalties. No Wes Harding in that. So yeah, that's interesting. But if we scroll down, so this is just the international games. Obviously, there are some World Cup qualifiers starting next week on Thursday. But the Northern Ireland, so Kevin Nisbet isn't in the Scotland squad. I think because he was playing in the cup final, and they've got 2 friendlies, Scotland, and I think they're trying to look at new players. So that's why he's not in it. But the Northern Ireland games, Northern Ireland has signed a deal with BBC, so they will all be on BBC coming up. I think the actual World Cup qualifiers as well. Obviously, you've got Andorra versus England, then you've got Denmark versus Northern Ireland. One game is on ITV1, the other game is on BBC iPlayer. So, George Saville, I think it's his birthday today, so, happy birthday. But he's playing in that game there. And then we've got another one, I think, coming up here, yeah. Northern Ireland versus Iceland on Tuesday the 10th. So these are the ones that are actually on TV channels. Again, the Serbian under-21 game, you saw that it was on TV because they filmed it there and they put up highlights. So we might get a live stream on YouTube. If I can find it on Wednesday at 3 p.m, I will share it with you. I'll certainly if I find the highlights, if Ivanovic plays, I'll certainly share it with you. Obviously, if he doesn't play, I'm not going to bother because it's just really about Ivanovic, the Millwall striker, and what he's doing. So, moving on to this. Recently released Murray Wallace. Got a story in the Daily Record under the Falkirk FC tag. They did an interview with him because I think he's doing a bit of PR. He's trying to get a new club. He's trying to get it out there that he's looking for a club in a certain region, basically around Manchester. And probably just seeing what offers come in. So there you go. The Scots Mountain, who won over Millwall Hard Nuts, tells his story after 7 years in the den. Murray Wallace typified everything the working class London outfit expected. Millwall fans are notorious throughout British football. In their own words, no one likes us, we don't care. Thankfully for Murray Wallace, the diehards adored their adopted Scot. Wallace has just blown the whistle on a magnificent 7 years at the den. The towering defender amassed more than 260 appearances for the Lions, popping up with 16 goals. A quick glance at social media after his exit was announced tells you how highly he was rated. Wallace typified everything the working class London outfit expected, a brave heart who wore his heart on his sleeve. And the former Falkirk stopper said, "It's lovely to see and hear and get all the warm messages. All the hard work and stuff you put in over the years, it's nice to see this appreciated. My time at Millwall wasn't plain sailing. I signed there as a centre-back and had to force my way into the team as a left-back and then wing-back and stuff. So I appreciate the fans. I think the fans appreciated everything that I gave to the club. And, I really appreciate their support. I played there a few times on the opposite team when I was at Scunthorpe and Huddersfield. And it was quite hostile, but when you play for them, it's actually alright. Some of my best moments are playing in front of a packed house at the den." Wallace will forever be remembered for his part in one of the most famous nights at the den. The 32-year-old etched his name into the FA Cup folklore with the added time winner to beat Everton 3-2 in 2019. He said, "Playing against Premier League teams, we packed the house and it was really special. Just the way the game went, going behind and then going ahead and getting pulled back and scoring a last-minute winner. It was really special." Wallace, who then got the only goal against AFC Wimbledon before the Lions were knocked out by Brighton, smiled. I was thinking I was going to score in every round all the way to the final. To score 2 winners in 2 rounds was brilliant. Affectionately nicknamed the Mountain, the versatile Wallace was a mainstay as the club teetered on the brink of promotion to the Premier League. But the one painful regret is that his standout displays never led to a Scotland call-up. He reflected, "It's always been an ambition of mine to play for Scotland. Even to get one cap would be so special. Playing regularly in the Championship when the team's doing well, you're playing well and just missing out on the playoffs on the last 1 or 2 games. I thought I may have got a chance of a call-up. But unfortunately, it's never quite materialised, and I'm obviously disappointed about that. But you've got to respect the decisions that are made, so that's fine." A free agent for the first time in his career, Wallace will take his time to weigh up his future as the eyes are moved closer to home after 13 years down south. But when he says home, he means Manchester, which is where he found his wife, and he's married his wife, where he's got a house. He doesn't mean Falkirk. He said, "I started my career off in Scotland, and it's brilliant to see the likes of Falkirk get back up. I've seen Scotty Harfield back there, and that's brilliant for him. Obviously, there will be interest from teams up in Scotland, and we've just got to see what's best footballing wise, and what's best for me and the family. There's been a few conversations with a few different clubs, but there's nothing concrete or anything ready to sign at the minute. It's just a bit of a waiting game. Wherever he ends up, Mill will always take a special place in his heart," Wallace added. "I was there a long time, and it just feels so much just happened. You had some really surreal moments of the COVID season, playing in front of no fans, and you had the highs of the FA Cup runs and scoring winners and stuff like that. And you had the lows as well. Our chairman, he tragically passed away in my time there, and our keeper passed away as well at the start of last season. Some really massive moments, not just in terms of football, but in life there. I married my wife whilst I was at Millwall, and I've had all 3 of my children whilst I was at Millwall. It's a massive part of my life." Indeed. Thank you, Murray Wallace. You've done a lot for the club on the pitch, and very, very much appreciated. So it sounds like he might go to Scotland. So he might, in the interview that I read the other day with Southern News, it sounded like he wanted to go to the south of Manchester, but if no one in that area is interested, or I can't see why they wouldn't. You've got in League One what the likes of Bolton Wanderers and Huddersfield and places that are close to Manchester. I can't see why they wouldn't be interested, but their loss. If maybe clubs in Scotland are talking to him, and that's why he hasn't signed anything yet, because he's like, well, let's see if I can get a place in Manchester to keep the wife happy, and then if that doesn't happen, then maybe he will go to Scotland. So there you go. Now moving on to this, been updated. This is from Football Fragmento. This is a list that some guy's doing on his own of all the release lists. He's collating them, and then he updates it in brackets with where they've gone, so you can tell, is he still a free agent, or has he found a club? And what we've got new is Tottenham Hotspur. Now, Fraser Forster, obviously, is that an option for us? I'm sure he's probably got a lot of options at the moment, as in that he could quite easily be like the 3rd or 4th choice keeper for many Premier League clubs on a hefty wage. So why would he want to come to us and be either the 1st choice or 2nd choice until just for this season, until Jensen comes back from his serious injury? So I'm not sure about that, but maybe not. Cardiff, still no thing. Now, interestingly enough, it looks like Cardiff might be signing Nathan Jones as their manager, which is hilarious, absolutely hilarious. In that, he's just got the Charlton up, and he's thought, what, Cardiff have approached him, wanting him to be their manager, and he's thought, yeah, I'll do that. Now, obviously, Cardiff got relegated, so they're in League One. So maybe he knows, like, Charlton are one of the favourites to go down. They struggled through the playoffs. I watched most of the games that they were involved in. They were absolutely rubbish. So, maybe he's the fault. I don't want a relegation on my CV, so I'm going to jump ship and go back to another League One team and try and get them up and get another promotion on my thing. But there you go. I don't think we don't have anything else, do we? Because we've already had most of the things. I think, we're just waiting for Sunderland to put their list out, and that's it. So there you go. Although, to be fair, would any of these come from, like, the only ones we have been linked to some of these players? Anthony Dick Steele. There's a player for Queen's Park Rangers that we were linked with. Was it Morgan Fox? No, someone like that. He was a left back as well. So I don't know. So we'll wait to see. Do we sign any of them? Now, the transfer window is open. This is from EFL.com. If you didn't know, it opens and then it closes and then it reopens. Absolutely stupid. It's to do with the Club World Cup, but absolutely stupid as well in that they've done one thing right and one thing wrong. So it's open today on Sunday the 1st of June. You know how many transfers have gone through today? None, because it's Sunday. The offices are closed. So the transfers are not going to go through today. So why open it on a Sunday? Makes no sense. Makes literally no sense. I think they just wanted to, look, the 1st of June. That looks good. The 1st of June, 1st of September. It looks good on paper. Should have opened yesterday morning, Monday, 9 o'clock. But no. But here's what they've done, which is good. So when it closes on the 10th of June, it closes at 7 p.m. And again, when it closes on Monday the 1st of September, it closes at 7 p.m. And they're going to do, obviously, a TV show. So, rather than, staying up until midnight to see, have we signed anyone? I've heard that there is a deal and but it's late, so we have to stay up even later to see if it goes through. No, it's going to be done by 7, so we'll find out by 8 if the deal is late and it's gone through anyway. Which is a good idea, Prime time. You'll get more people viewing it at that time. Put it at that time. Makes absolute sense. But, the transfer window is open now. I am wondering, will we be signing someone this week? The only reason I think that is because, like I said on Friday, the Millwall website had an absolute fit and just pumped out story after story after story after story. Now, it would have made sense for them to, publish a couple, and then maybe on Saturday or Sunday publish another couple, and then maybe Monday, Tuesday publish more, and just space it out over the week. The only reason why they probably wouldn't do that is either the guy is probably going on holiday next week, or they've got some stories coming out next week. Maybe they're going to announce, they should bloody announce it soon, the trip to Spain. Now, Wigan Athletic have announced their trip to Spain, but I believe it's the week before we go out there, so I don't think we'll be playing them. Not only that, but they've announced they're playing Curzon Ashton. They're playing Curzon Ashton in Spain. Wigan versus Curzon Ashton. I'm pretty sure Curzon Ashton are in the National League North. Like, how have they got the money to go to Spain? But apparently they are. So yeah. There you go. We may be getting an announcement next week. And on that note, thank you for watching, and goodbye.